Everybody have recording that they need? Everybody all good? Perfect. All right, Blake just walked in. He'll be here in 2 seconds.
Can I get it, Will?
Just gave it to you, Brian.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep. There you go. Oh, looks fine.
Morning, guys.
Hey, good morning, Blake. Thanks for your time, man. I guess, does this feel like you're going into your last home game at Truist Field?
Not really. When I really think about it, it does. But I just try not to have that thought, coming, after, or at least Sunday, coming into work and coach saying, this is our last home game and we should sell out for these seniors. I'm like, oh wait, that's me. It's definitely a weird feeling and definitely flew by because for the last 3-4 years I was selling out for the seniors ahead of me. So being that guy, being that old dude, that old head in the room and on the team definitely feels weird. And I don't think I'm going to think about it until after the game Saturday, but just because I want to be focused on playing and leading the team. But afterwards I definitely think that there'll be a come to moment where I'm like, all right, man, that's it. So all good things must end.
How would you best quantify the mood around Wake Forest football the last couple of days of practice?
We definitely know where we're failing at, and that's just really starting fast. Last 3 weeks we're spotting teams' points. And that was the emphasis coach said, we're spotting teams, 7-14 points in the first half before we even, wake up on both sides of the ball. And so, the emphasis this week is just, trusting the process that I talk about every time you guys ask me, what's different this week. And, the emphasis this week is trusting that same process that, we've done over all these weeks, but that we just have to start fast and come out ready to play at the first snap on both sides of the ball. We can't spot guys points and we can't not show up on the first drive and not score. That's just not who we are. We have to jump on guys fast and that's the emphasis this week for sure.
Blake, does that mean that anything gets changed up in practice? Does maybe Coach Clausen start practice off with the team fast segment to begin things now, or something to kind of, drill that in?
There's definitely some things that, coach has talked about and I think will be, implemented this week. And those aren't things that, are my business to discuss about the team, but, there's definitely things that he's trying to do that, we all agree will help us be ready to, play that first snap and kind of get us in that zone. So for sure.
Blake, I guess, have I missed an announcement that this will in fact be your last season?
Yeah, this is it. This is the last ride for me. I don't think I'm going to come back. So it's definitely a tough decision. And, I'm very grateful for the opportunity and, all the people that have poured into me and all the friends that I've gained here. But, I think I decided I won't take my 6 years. So.
Guys, we're going to go to a question from John in the room.
Yeah, Blake, I guess the first question I have is the most disappointing part is that you guys know the mistakes that have been going on these 3 weeks, that you guys know it has to be corrected and it just hasn't materialized. I guess it was last 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's just execution is what it comes down to. We know that we have a really good team and we have really good players, and when we don't execute at the level we're capable of, we're disappointed in ourselves. And and that comes with us not starting fast. I feel like once we start playing, we get into the second half and in the second quarter, we start executing better and playing better. But it was in our nature last year and the beginning of this year that we jumped out on teams, and that was just who we are. We showed up ready to play at the very beginning, and we just have to get back to that. And the first part of fixing stuff is realizing what's not right. And we think that there's never a doubt that we're a good team in our eyes, and that we're not capable of still having a great season. I mean, I thought this practice, this morning was great. I mean, guys had energy, and there was no, heads down or, feeling bad for ourselves. I mean, we're full speed ahead, and that's what I expect out of our team, because we have guys who are, of great character and love ball, and we have coaches who, love us and love ball. So, we're still, full steam ahead for this next week.
Yeah. You've heard a little news that this will probably be your last
Yeah.
year. What went into that decision, I guess, and can you put into context what this ride for you has been like,
Yeah, I mean, it was just, for me, it was just a personal decision. I mean, I thought that's just what would be best for me, just in my future. And just for context, I mean, it's been, I'm so grateful for, these 5 years that in some places feel like really slow, and, in other ways, I feel like it was yesterday that I got here. And I'm just so grateful for the life lessons that I've learned from this coaching staff. I mean, the way that I've matured here as a freshman till now is, exponential mentally and physically. And so just being able to, be a part of this team is very special for me, and something I'll cherish. And, the friendships that I've made here is, these are guys that, I'll be friends with for the rest of my life. So that's just kind of the context of, my time here and leaving here. I'll always cherish that. So.
You guys good on Zoom?
Blake, just how important is it for you as a senior going through the last ride here, last couple of regular season games, to close out the season strong, and then also what's some of your best memories at Wake Forest?
Yeah, I mean, that's super important, for us seniors. We want to leave a good legacy here and be proud of what we have accomplished. And, we still have the chance to do that with these last 3 games and have a good season. So, for us, it's important that we finish strong, and that's what we want, is to, leave a good legacy and leave this place better than we found it. And, just to have a good season, for, just to be a part of a really good team. And so I think that's the place where we're at. It's just, there's no reason to hold anything back. If we sell out, we'll have no regrets for our time after here. So just selling out and finishing strong is what's most important to us right now. And then, best moments, just the friendships. I mean, before it was, winning games and stuff, and now it's just the process of just waking up, and I love what I do. And, that's just something I feel few people can say in their lives, is they love, every aspect of what they do in their job, and that's something I've learned to love here, is just being around great people, and love waking up early and going to meetings and practice. Like, these are things that I enjoy every single day. And I'm just so grateful that, I'm able to have the opportunity to do them. So I think that's what, is the part of football, at least here at Wake, that I've come to love the most. So.
You guys good? All right.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Blake.
We'll open it up for questions for Sam.
Hey, good morning, Sam.
What's going on?
Just I guess walk us through what's going through your mind as you're getting ready for what looks like your last game at Truist Field.
I mean, I think first and foremost, I think the biggest thing is just my heart and Wake Forest heart's going out to UVA. In this time of tragedy for them and trial and tribulation, I think of those guys, and obviously they're going to be portrayed as football players, but I see a son, a brother, a teammate, a student. I just think of those mothers, man. I just couldn't imagine. And just, yeah, I mean, that's, something, you think about, for those teammates and those guys, and you think about, if something like that happened here, and just losing, people you see every single day, it really puts things in perspective. And, as a guy who's lost a brother and, has a mother who's lost a son, it's My heart goes out to those moms, and the family members, because that's a life-changing event and that campus, and those players, you can't imagine what's going on through their heads. So that's probably first and foremost what's going on here.
Sam, given that you played the game that week, back in 2015, would you go back and, tell the Virginia guys that they should play this week, or is that up to them?
It's not. Yeah, that's up to them. That's not really. That's a team deal, team decision, and whatever they decide is what they decide.
Talking to you about the last couple weeks at Wake. I mean, what's been your struggle these last few games?
I think just as a unit and as an individual, right? Just detail. I think we look back at last year and we won those games and made the plays that we needed to make, and obviously kind of the anomalies of Louisville and a little bit of NC State, but it's like the UNC game and the Clemson game. You look back and it's one play here, one play there. You look back at last year and it's Louisville, Syracuse. And what was the other one score game? Louisville and
State,
exactly right. Skiba misses a kick. AT doesn't make that play in the end zone. It's just NC State recovers an onside kick. Right, you can go. The list goes on. So, it's not like anything I'm new to. I think it's for me, it's just the turnovers here, but it's just detail across the ball. I think we know it, and everyone in our staff and myself included know that it's just we got to play execution football, and when you don't, you play good teams, you're not going to win. And this year, sometimes in life, like everyone knows, in this on this Zoom, sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce your way. And this year, for the past couple of weeks, it hasn't, and we certainly haven't helped ourselves to be in the right position as well. But when it comes down to it, I think it's a 1 week mentality as hard as it is. And trust me, it gets harder and harder as you slip more and more into the loss column. But again, it's one last time for me at Truist. You would love to end on a high note and end, kind of my legacy here and this team's legacy with a win. And you really just, frankly, just want to get back in the win column, because it's hard to continue to lose and play not at the highest level we could possibly play.
You spend any extra thought about your freshman season ending with a home game against Syracuse, and now your Wake Forest home career ending against them?
Yeah, maybe times a flat circle, and then we'll probably play Tulane in a bowl game, right? That'd be a real spin on things, right? Yeah, I mean it a little bit, but if I'm sure if we were winning, I'd probably have more time to sit and relish, or look back and whatever. So it's we're just trying to get in the win column, and two teams that are coming in with backs against the wall, and so we know they're going to be ready to fight, and they always are a great challenge. So it's definitely going to be a battle.
Sam, what were you seeing on that 4th and 3 on like the 10-yard line? And did you think you were going to, obviously you thought you were going to get there for that first down, right?
Yeah, I think I had AT open and probably should have hit him. And it's obviously, those plays where you look back and it's just execution. That's not really a UNC making a play to beat us. It's us just not doing our jobs, and myself in particular. So yeah, I mean, you can look back at that whole game and there's multiple occasions of, each individual on the offense doing something that normally in a day-to-day basis, we make that play or make that decision or whatnot. So yeah, those are the ones that keep you up at night, and, you could go through every game and, some games more than others, but, that's just been the kind of the curse of the season so far. But I guess, when we talk about 2018, if I'm sitting here at 6-3 and, or 6-4, sorry. And looking back, you'd be kicking yourself because you're like, holy cow, we're having a great year. So obviously the standard is raised, and, we're not happy with where we're at, but if we can do what we want to do, it's still a solid season. So it is, it's kind of one of those things. It is what it is.
Sam, as you look back at your time at Wake Forest, what are some of the things that you'll always remember? Are there specific moments or wins or or plays that will always resonate in Sam Hartman's mind?
I just think the teammates, I think you look back and each team was so unique and different, and each season was so challenging or exciting. And I think that, I think it's the teams, the teammates, the players, the coaches, and obviously we've had the same coaches on offense for all 5 years. And but all those memories, those little moments, those kind of different side kind of quests, as you would call them, that you've accomplished with your teammates, are all just, different stages throughout my career that, I really enjoyed. And I think that that's something that's been awesome is, we've kept pretty steady group throughout my time here. And a lot of guys I've played a lot of football with, but I just think the relationships outside of the football field and in the locker room have really made my time here, one to cherish. And I think another thing is just the fan engagement. I think, it's one of those things where, again, it all comes full circle, but 2018, we're playing these games and there's 100, students, and, the bleachers are half full, and till where we are now, where, we're, the overflow student section and our bleachers our stadium's full. It's all those things, those memories that you can make with, your student body and alum and fans, and even, just kind of the moments you can provide to people. And, obviously recently it hasn't been great, but in past, games, the fun times and the different wins and celebrations and big plays, I think all that will definitely go down as some great memories.
With everything you went through, to start like in the fall camp and missing the first game, does it make you that much more grateful just to be able to play this season? I know the last 3 weeks haven't gone the way you had probably drawn them up, right? But just to be able to be out there and compete, that's something you're pretty grateful for, right, Sam?
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I think it's definitely, a full circle moment of, my whole career here and the trials and tribulations of the different teams we've had, and going through COVID and, all the different things, and the way this year started. Obviously it was, up in the air of playing, this year or ever again. So, definitely, just again, it's like the teammates make it, the coaches make it, and the wins and losses are obviously, they come and go, and those are fleeting. But I've just been trying to enjoy as much as I can, and still push myself, and be the best I can for this team, this organization, university, fan base, and all that included.
Sam, would you be willing, or can you share what that experience was like in camp when football was almost taken away from you? Dave said you had a great story and it'd be years to tell. Are you willing to share what that experience was like yet?
I mean, it was a long, hard road. I think it, different medical conditions arise that are now subsided, and I'm completely recovered from. But yeah, I mean, I think it was more mentally taxing than anything. Physically it was here and there, but it's just, you're poised for a big year, and you've worked, day in and day out to get to, camp, right? Everyone always talks about, and all you're thinking about is just staying healthy and grinding through and just making it through camp. And then something out of the blue kind of comes up and sidelines you for whatever reason it was. It's tough. So I think, but everyone in the program handled it well. And obviously my teammates and such, were incredibly, gracious to keep everything that I wanted, private. And, I think it's a blessing to be back, and, it wouldn't really be my career without having something like that happen right before the season. So, that was, what my mom and I always joked about, sitting in the hospital room, was just, it only makes sense for this to happen on my going into my last year here. So, it's something I'll always remember and look back on, but, it'd been nice to not have to go through that.
Just a quick follow-up with that. How was it discovered? Can you share with that?
Yeah, I mean, we just had like a strength staff member kind of noticed something going on, obviously, because the blood clot situation and whatnot. So really a strength staff member, Stephen Whitlock, noticed that I noticed it, but I wasn't going to say anything because I didn't really think anything of it. And then that kind of just flourished, kind of investigation into it, and then led to the discovery and whatnot. So it was one of those deals, kind of like, oh wow, that's probably not good, something you don't want to happen. But it, it's here and gone and completely healthy now.
Just got one more question. You could come back for another year if you wanted.
No shot.
Technically. What went into the decision that this will be your last ride?
Oh, I mean, I think, I think people are just sick and tired of me. I'll be totally honest. I think media included. I think we're, ready to talk to somebody new and get some new phrases, watch out my 1 week seasons and definitely cliche answers. So, no, I mean, I think it's, I want to, test my luck and see what happens. And, I think I have an opportunity to do it. And so that'll be, but obviously that's, we still got some football left to play here.
Sam, your freshman year, you came in and there was a fan fest. It was raining. It was held underneath the stands. And we watched a group of you freshmen come in, and Stan and I were at a table watching you, and you guys didn't really know what to do. And you said something and everybody as a group moved and followed you. So your leadership bar was pretty high at that point. Everybody had bought into you. Part of it goes with the position. Part of it goes with your personality. Can you talk a little bit how you think you've grown since that point to today, and a little bit about the personal side of, with all the trials and tribulations and you persevered, where you think you're at today?
That was a great question. I think, I think I'm more level-headed. I think, a tendency when you're young is you kind of feel like you have to prove that you're a leader and prove that you can step up in different situations and different circumstances. And, you have to be the vocal guy and you have to be the guy that's yelling and screaming and getting fired up and getting people's faces. And I think there's always a time and a place for that. My position, it's a little, hard. You got to, really play a balancing act of, being a vocal guy, but also being a guy that, people can come to and people can trust and rely in any situation, circumstance. So, yeah, I mean, I think just the level-headedness and the consistency has been probably the biggest improvement. Really never getting too high, never getting too low. That was a challenge from the coaches. And I think therapy's helped with that a lot. Obviously, I always talk about it and always hit on it. Everybody's got their demons and everybody's got, their different ways that they react and, are prone to, the reaction that they are given, because of the circumstances either they grew up in or, whatnot, different coaches they've had, parents, background, whatnot. And I think that's been huge, is just learning to be less reactive towards different situations and sit back and assess and sit back and, on a game day, just, being the same guy. If we're up by 20, we're down by 20. And especially these past couple of weeks of just trying to stay as cool and calm, obviously when, the ship's sinking. And we know that, the process is the journey and throughout this whole season, it's, the end is near, but our eyes are set on the day-to-day grind, and that's the only thing you can do. And even if we were obviously, 10-0, whatnot, it'd be the same message you guys would be hearing from us. So I think that's been probably the biggest step up.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, of course.
You guys good? All right.
Appreciate you guys. Go Deeks.
Yeah. Good on you.
Thanks for coming through.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming. A little better than Zoom.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, guys, we'll see you at 1 o'clock for Kobe.